Good morning, good morning, family and friends. It is Tab. I am back with you with our Tuesday Live. Last week on Tuesday, we pulled a little bit of snippet out of the book of Genesis. And as promised, I told you we was going to go to the next book of the Bible, which is the book of Exodus. And I'll tell you guys, I was in this book. And as I was going through Exodus, I began to just look back. And I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing that for a reason. I began to look back at the journey that the individuals went through in the book of Exodus, and it blew my mind. And I wanted to just ask you a question. When's the last time you looked back? Honey, when is the last time you look back at where God brought you from? You know, it's so easy to get caught up in what's going on today. When you look at the news, when you look at circumstances, when you look at the situations and the things that surround us. But I'm encouraging you today to just do a little pause. Just pause for the cause and say, wait a minute, let me do an Exodus look back and see where God brought me from. Let me just check out where I came from. Some of us have come from a mighty, mighty long way, and we can't discredit that. Hey there, Mr. Goins, how you doing? We cannot discredit that. When I was looking in the book of Moses, I saw that Moses led the people out of Egypt, right? We knew that the people were in Egypt, and they was dealing with some slavery. They had a pharaoh. Their pharaoh was the king, and he was rough, and he was beating those folks down. Have you ever been in a situation when you look back and you say, you know what? There were some things that used to have the upper hand on me, but it doesn't have the upper hand on me anymore. There were some things that used to get me and it had the last say, but I'm in a different space now. I'm in a different spot now, and I've got control. I'm not in bondage like I used to be. When is the last time you look back at the Egypt that God brought you out of? When I traveled through the book of Exodus, y'all, I got to chapters 1-7, and I saw that they were slaves. And I saw, hey there, Jasper, hey Lamont, hey Oliver, good morning, y'all. I saw in chapters 1-7 in Exodus that they were slaves, that they were dealing with this thing called bondage. But then I got over to chapter number 8 and in chapter number 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 in the book of Exodus, and I saw that they were dealing with some plagues. They were dealing with some sicknesses, some illnesses, some disease, some things that they had no control over. Let me ask you, when was the last time you did a look back to see, wait a minute, God, I remember there was a time when I was on my deathbed. Some of us have really been through some situations and some circumstances. You wasn't healthy your whole life. You can look back and say, I remember when God delivered my mom, or he delivered my dad, or he held my siblings, or he healed my child. Can you look back and look at what God has done and just say, wait a minute, let me just look back over my life and see that he's actually brought me over. I'm not where I used to be. Healing has taken place over these years, and I'm healthy and I'm stronger and I'm better than I used to be. I don't have to take the prescriptions anymore. Some of y'all done came off of some prescriptions, and God has said, no, you're not going to have to take those pills every day. No, you're not going to have to go continue to get them insulin shots. No, you're not going to have to continue to worry about heart disease. You are dealing with something called health. Have you ever just taken the time to do a look back? Some of y'all done been through chemo and radiation, and God said, now I declare that you are cancer free. Have you looked back to say, God, thank you for healing me from that sickness, that illness and disease? I went on, I tell you, I got to chapter 17. I got excited. I said, let me keep on flipping through this good gospel right here. So I got to chapter 17 in Exodus, and I saw that the people were dealing with the Amalekites. And the Amalekites were the people that they had to battle with. It was the people that they had to do some war with. Have you ever just paused for the cause to say, wait a minute, I don't have to fight the way I used to fight back then. I don't have to put up them bowls and throw them bowls on folks no more. Now I got wisdom. Now I know how to walk away from the fight and say, you know what, it ain't that deep, it ain't that serious. You win, bro. You got this one, because there's other things that I want to put my time and my attention on. Have you taken the time to look back and look at the time? Some of y'all came out of some domestic violence situations, and you was ducking and dodging and had black eyes and bruises, but God pulled you up out of that dark situation, and he said, no, you're not going to have to be running for your life no more. You're not going to have to live in fear and intimidation. God has healed you from the Amalekites that were in your life, and the battle is over. God says, I got this one right here. Have you did a look back? Hey there, Sean, I see you. Good morning, fam. Some of you, when I kept reading through this book, y'all, I told you I was getting excited. I got to chapter 18, and in chapter 18, it was talking about how Moses sat down with his father-in-law, and his father-in-law told Moses, he said, look, you doing good, bro, you're doing good. You know, that's my paraphrase. You're doing good, bro. You're ruling and you're settling issues, but there's some things that's going on, and I'm looking at you, and baby, you're tired. You don't have to do all of this by yourself. Get you a team. Delegate some responsibilities. Have you paused for the cause to do a look back and say, ooh, I don't have to do it all by myself. God, you sent me some help. You sent me some reliable people. You sent me some people that were trustworthy. You sent me some people where I didn't have to keep double checking. Did you do your part? And did you do your part? And I didn't have to carry the load by myself. God, I thank you for the Jethros that stepped into my life and said, baby, get you a team. Get some people in your circle that you can lean on when times get hard. Get you some people in your circle that can speak wisdom to you. Have you did a look back? That's what I just wanted to ask you on this day. Have you done a look back? We can continue to look at the news. We can continue to look at what's going on around us. But I want you today to just pause for the cause and say, wait a minute, God has brought me a little bit further than I took analogy of. He's brought me out of some things. And you know what? I just want to give him thanks. Today, I just wanted to tell you, have a thank you in your spirit. Have a thank you on your lips. Have a thank you no matter what you see going on today. Sometimes we just got to take an Exodus moment and just look on back and see what did he bring us out of. I can tell you, your girl, he done brought me out of a lot of things. I look back and I remember being the child that only had 2 Ritz crackers left and there was nothing else to eat. But look into the cabinets now, look in the refrigerators now, and we got some food in them cabinets, Michael. We got some food in the cupboards and in the refrigerator. I do a look back, y'all, and I remember there was a time when they told me my middle son wasn't going to make it. When I birthed him into this world, they said that there was some issues going on. But when I look back now, I see a 22-year-old that's getting ready to be 23 years old. Yes, he is. In next weekend on Saturday, I look back and I say, God, you spared my baby. He's living, he's moving, he's strong. I look back onto my life and I look at times when I couldn't find my daddy. I didn't know where he was at, but now I got access to him. He's actually my emergency contact, and I can call and say, hey, Ed Brogdon, I'm just calling to check on your daddy. I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you, that I love you. You see, forgiveness in time heals wounds, but when you look back, what type of inventory are you taking? When I look back, I remember being in foster care and didn't have access to my siblings, but now I can call Tanetta, I can call McKinley, I can call Shaniqua, I can call Rashid, I can call Ishan and Christian and Jada. I got access to my siblings and Doris and Keisha. I got access, and Tia. I got access to my siblings now. Can I tell you, if you just do a look back, you'll find some things to be grateful for. And this morning, I just got to thank you in my spirit. I can look back at times and say, now, girl, you knew that you had a little bit too much to drink. Now, let's go be transparent. You knew you had a little bit too much to drink. And I don't know nothing but the grace of God that got me from the clubhouse to my house without hitting nobody and wrecking no walls and tearing up my car and being laid over somewhere in a ditch. When I do a look back, I said, God, you spared my life on many, many occasions. And just like me and just like you, we all got something that we can say thank you for. We all got something that God has truly done. I see you, Jermaine, what you said. Just take a look back and see what God has done and is still doing. God is still alive. I don't want you to just know the name of God. I want you to remember the nature of God. When you go through things, I want you to remember his nature. I want you to remember that, wait a minute, God is a keeper. God is a sustainer. God carries me over from this hill and valley and this mountain and valley. And he gets me where I'm supposed to be. And he always gets me there right on time. Sometimes it feels a little delayed. Sometimes it feels like he's going slower than what I'd like him to. But he always gets me where I'm supposed to be right on time. Sometimes I just got to do a look back and say, God, you've been my financial provider. Because there was times when I didn't know how that bill was going to get paid. There was times when I didn't know how I was going to take care of this means and this means. But somehow God shook a money tree and money just started coming in directions that I wasn't expecting it. Can you do a look back and say, God, thank you for the financial help that you sent when I didn't know how I was going to pay that bill. Thank you, God, for the financial help you sent when I was behind and I owed the IRS. Thank you for the financial help that you sent, Lord, when I needed to pay for these things that I didn't know how I was doing it. God, I want you to go back to the nature of God. God cares about us. God cares about us. I want you to do a look back and say, God, I remember the time when I was in the corner crying, rocking and snotting in a ziggity boo and thought I was dealing with this thing called depression. I was suicidal. God, I was on the brinks of losing my mind. But when I look back, you brought me to a place of wholeness. You brought me to a place of being complete. You brought me to a place of saying, child, calm down, slow your nerves, get it together. I've got you. What you say, my grace and my mercy, I'm there. I was there with you then. I see you, Talessa, and I'm there with you right now. If you would just do a look back. I don't want you to get caught up. Don't get caught up in today. Don't you dare get caught up in today. Every now and then we need this thing that we talk about in the book of Revelation. It is the testimony. Every now and then we just got to look back and grab a hold of that testimony and say, testimony, I remember. Testimony, I recall. Testimony, I didn't forget. You were there the whole time because the nature of God is concerned about me. So today I just want to remind you, my friends, do a look back. I want you to do an Exodus look back. Look back from when he brought you a mighty long way. Look back and see where he's taking you. And where he's taking me, yes, baby, the journey ain't over. Can I tell you, I told you we did to Exodus. There's a book after that that's called Numbers. See, they went from Genesis to Exodus and they got all the way over to Numbers. There is more to come. There is more to come. So don't you dare. Don't you dare. I see you. I see y'all waving them hearts. Don't you dare get caught up and think that the story is over. Baby, God has got more things that he's going to do for you in your life. He's got more testimonies that he's going to show up and provide. It ain't over till God says it over. And if you still living, if you still breathing, if you still moving, if you still, I see you, Tail Dog Tavia. I see you, sister. I see you, Diane Queen. If you still moving, if you still got being, if you still got a little bit of faith inside of you, if you still got a with you. I see my connection trying to slow down. The devil is a lie. Can I tell you, God is beyond internet connection. When the internet don't work, God said, I got you, baby. The word is going to get out to the people. The word is going to get out to the people. Honey, do a look back. That's what I want you to do on this Tuesday. Do a look back. I'm going to leave you with this right here. Now, y'all know I'm not no soloist. Mary H. Fields. I wish I could pull you in to sis, because you're the one that's making records and albums out there. I'm so proud of you, sis. If Mary were able to sing this song, she would sing it in key. That's what she would do. Hallelujah. She would do it in key, but it's just tab. That's all you got right now. So y'all tune in over to Mary H. Fields so that you can get her to sing this song for you. But I was thinking about this. This old little song came to my life, my spirit. It says, as I look back over my life, and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. I've got a testimony. That's all y'all gonna get. I told you I ain't no soloist, but I can hum a tune for Jesus. I got such a good spirit today, y'all. I can hum a tune for Jesus. Baby, do a look back. Get yourself together. Shake off that dust of, ooh, woe is me, and go on and pull on some of them testimonies. Remember the goodness of God. Remember that he loves you and that he cares about you and he is concerned about you because that's his nature. That is his nature. So I want you to tuck that in your spirit on this Tuesday. I am going back to work because I got some work to do, but I had to jump on Tuesday Live and just give that to you. I love each and every one of you. Blessed is your day. I declare it and I decree it. Blessed is your going and blessed shall be your coming when you return back to your place of residence. Love you guys. Mwah! You got a testimony, share it. That's what you're supposed to do. Share it. Help somebody else do a look back today. Help somebody else do a look back today, baby. Y'all have a great day. I send much, much love.